A very, very happy Navratri to all of you goddesses and a big, big Saubana. Superb. I see already the questions have started to come in. I am going to do a quick. This box is called the She Believed She Could, So She Did. I like the name, no? She believed she could, so she did. And we'll do one quick card and then I'll share the book of the week and then we'll move into questions. Okay? A woman with a voice is by definition a strong woman. A woman with a voice is by definition a strong woman. And I think this is such a beautiful quotation, and these are all beautiful quotations by famous people. So this one is by Melinda Gates. I think for a lot of us along the way of life, we've been told to not create drama, to not be, to not speak our truth, to put everything under the carpet. So we've somewhere along the way, I feel, lost our voice. And so getting your voice back, speaking your truth, even if it causes friction, but staying in your honesty, I think is one of the most beautiful gifts you can give to yourself as a woman, as well as something so beautiful that we can teach our daughters and daughter-in-laws. To speak your truth, to know that, you know what, if something's not okay, it's not okay. It's not that you won't adjust, compromise, tolerate. You can still do that, but everyone should know what it is, yeah? Happy Ugadi to all of you. Yes, all my Telugu friends here. Very, very happy Ugadi to you. This is the current book that I'm reading. It's called Happy Mind, Happy Life. It's a beautiful book written by Dr. Rangan Chatterjee. I picked it up from the Dubai airport, and on my way back, this was at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was a 4-hour flight, and I'm not joking, the entire 4 hours I was reading this book, making notes. It was so interesting, especially there was this concept called core happiness versus junk happiness, which really hit me that, you know what, a lot of us are thinking of our happiness not in the right manner. So what is core happiness? Things that build you up and give you energy and power. And what is junk happiness? Anything that becomes an addiction to numb out the pain of life. So if you're overdoing watching Netflix, if you're overdoing any sort of addiction, if you are emotionally eating, if you are spending too much time scrolling social media, all of those are junk happiness. While they will release you for a while, they are more like the Combi Flams and the Dolo 650s. They are not going to clear the problem. They are only going to help the symptom being maintained. So I really liked it's called Happy Mind, Happy Life. I will share it in my stories, not to worry, so that you can all get that book. I really liked this concept. So I'd love for you to make a list in your lives of core happiness and junk happiness. What are the things you're doing which are junk happiness? How do you know when something is junk happiness? At the end of doing it, you feel like you wasted time. What is core happiness? Things that at the end of doing it, you feel proud of the habit that's created. Yeah? For all of you who want to see the book again, it's called Happy Mind, Happy Life by Dr. Rangan Chatterjee. Finished it in 4 hours while I was flying back. So it was really good fun. Okay. On that note, let's move into questions for today. Woohoo! Let's look at who all are here. Let me at least invite all of you in. Harprita, Sriya, Shelja, Priya, Neha, Vibrant Life, Chaitali, Manisha, Mystic Megha, Savita, Hina, Isha, Rohit, Shipra, Nidhi. Nidhi is asking, how do you work with a co-worker who has backstabbed you? How to cut off yet be respectful? Nidhi, what I love to do whenever some injustice happens to me, there are a few things I like to do. First thing that I like to do is ask myself, what's the lesson I need to learn here? What is it that I need? What is it that God is trying to convey to me? Because every time something goes wrong in our life, there is something we can learn from it. Something that we can make sure that next time it doesn't happen to us. Something so that we can build back our trust in the world. Remember, most of the time, the amount of time our trust has been broken is 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. But what we tend to do is once our trust is broken, we don't give it to anyone. While I don't want you to give it to anyone easily, I still want you to have a process of being able to trust people again, because one person's deceit should not become a punishment for everyone else. True or not? So you always check for the yellow flags, and if it hits a red flag, you remove the person. As far as this person is concerned, how to cut off yet be respectful. Once you understand that this world is made up of human beings, not gods, that everyone makes mistakes and everyone has their own value system and everyone will choose according to their convenience, then we can start to say, you know what, thank you for revealing yourself to me. I don't want to indulge in your energy, so therefore respectfully I retreat. God bless you and make you a better person, but for now I don't want to be interacting with a person who does not know how to be with me. So you train the person. I always say you have all these options. One option is to start to stay angry. One option is to start to forgive and move on. What a lot of times people get confused is that when I say forgive, they think they have to trust this person again. Absolutely not. Apologies accepted, trust denied. So you can forgive because you understand it's a human being, they will make mistakes. So you understand and you forgive for your own peace. But what you don't do is you don't allow it again unless that person puts in the effort to win your trust back. So trust has to be earned in case that person. And as far as being respectful is concerned, it's a very long journey and you're going to meet all kinds of people, and every person is here to teach us a lesson. So I love calling such people in my life disguised angels. That means their job was to show me who I need to become, whether it is in my strength of character or it is in my ability to stand up for myself, or it is in the ability to learn patience, or it is about, so whatever it will be, there is something I can learn from this. And I want to thank my disguised angels for the lessons. Had they not given me, I wouldn't be who I am today. So see if you can convert every disguised angel into that. Once I've learned the lesson, I forgive them, because you know what? God put them only for me to learn this lesson. That's the whole purpose of this person in my life. Another thing I do which really helps me, and see if it helps you too, is I have this conversation with God that God, I'm not looking for justice from the person who hurt me. I'm looking for justice from you. So you make sure that something happens in my life that compensates the injustice done in the earthly equation. So while all equations, because what happens is when we start to look for apologies or we start to look for revenge, it is we are trying to settle the account on earth. I feel like I don't want to settle the account on earth. That's not my problem. They were sent by God as disguised angels. Now send a blessing angel into my life and make sure my blessings are bigger than my disguised angels as I keep learning my lessons. And so that kind of settles me when I say, now you owe me. Because I always say, when God owes you what He can give you, no human can give. So I don't want this person's apology or this person's rishta. To this person I will bless. And as I keep blessing them, my karmic account with God is increasing and He's going to do something good. And that's how I always say I live in what I call the miracle zone. Why? Because God's put me there because I'm not looking for any settlement on earth. I'm only looking for settlement with Him. So see if any of this works. Of course, these are all perceptions to empower yourself to be able to deal with such people in your life without having to confront them, especially if you don't want to. So you will become respectful automatically if you truly in your heart believe that something better is now going to come because this happened. Yeah? See if you can use any of this. Shreya 899, how to handle negative thoughts while visualizing. Shreya, accept them, don't fight them. So remember that inside of us lives two things, the goddess and the devil. So the job of the goddess is to show us our future. The job of the devil is to warn us by showing us the negative scenarios. When the devil starts to show it to us, you can say, you know what, I understand, thank you very much. And let that also be a part of the scenario so that you don't have to worry. The only thing I want you to focus on, the ending should be brilliant. So let's say I'm visualizing a brand new home. And as I'm visualizing that home, a negative thought comes to me. Somebody, some part is bad luck or something wrong is happening in that house. Or let's say I'm just visualizing somebody getting a disease or somebody getting hurt or any negative thought that's come to me. Can I take that thought, continue it, instead of fighting and say, why am I having the thought? Can I end it beautifully? Remember, the power of your imagination is your power. No one else has that power. So don't give the devil the ending. Give the goddess the ending of that visualization. So stay in the visualization. Think of someone having, let's say, somebody comes to know, I'm just taking a bad example so that you can understand it. Somebody's got cancer in the new house, okay? I want you to think of the next day, the clinic calling you up and saying, oh my God, we are so sorry, some reports got mixed up and it's not your mother, or it's not your husband, or it's not your whatever. And you can just create a more beautiful ending. A lot of times what we do is cancer. We get so scared, we get out of our visualization and we say, to hell with visualizing, this is too scary. Don't get scared. If you let the devil win, the devil will keep getting more and more powerful. Make sure the goddess wins. How does the goddess wins? When she doesn't get scared in a scary scenario. So stay in it and say, this is all in my imagination. Because it's in my imagination, it is in my control. Because it is in my control, I'm not going to give in. So whatever negative thought you had, let's say somebody had an accident. Imagine every single person coming out safely from the car and insurance looking after the entire car, rather the car getting a full overhauling and becoming brand new because of the insurance and because of the accident. Chota sa accident, everybody was safe and the car got a renewal. Can we end a bad story in a good way? That will really empower you. I know this will need a little practice, and in the beginning, your heart will panic, but instead of using the word panic, see if you can use the word excitement. It's the same thing, pumping of heart, sweaty palms. But when we use better vocabulary, we make our life better. So say, I've gone into excitement. Okay, now this excitement I'm going to handle by using this imagination. And the more imaginative you can be around your positive ending, the stronger, the better your goddess will become, my Jan. Now, not easy, but do it. It will really help you. Neha Karan 86, how to overcome distractions and shiny object syndrome. I keep on buying courses without completing them. Neha, I think one of the things that's very important is to start to, on the side, build what we call the commitment muscle. Okay, now what is the commitment muscle? Every day you want to start to stack your habits. Okay, so if you are going to buy a course, you need to know why are you buying it, what is going to be the end date, and how you're going to schedule it into your day. Otherwise, I want you to for some time stop buying. Maybe the new rule you can make is that from today onwards, every new course that I buy, if I don't finish it, I don't get to buy a new course, or I have to at least finish 50 to 60% of it. A lot of times, a lot of these courses, you don't need to go till the end. Sometimes we buy it because we need it that day, or we need to understand a part of it. Like I pick up books right, left and center. At all times in my house, I will have at least 5 books that I am either reading simultaneously and or reading one after the other. It doesn't matter to me because I know what I want from every book, and some book or the other will be able to give me that. So I want you to become very intentional about what is the result you wanted, and did you get it from the parts that you covered in the course. Okay, sometimes all we need to watch in these 16 videos are 2 videos. So be it. Know that you paid for those 2 videos kind of information, because I think we are too sometimes critical of ourselves that we have to go from first chapter to the last chapter, otherwise we haven't done justice. Not true. Rather, the more evolved you will get, the lesser you will get from every course. Earlier on, when I used to do courses, I used to watch everything because I needed every step, because I was learning. Now, becoming an expert or a master, I know that from every book, I'm only going to get 10%. I'm looking for that 10%. It's only going to be the nuances. I don't need, if I pick up a book on law of attraction, I don't need the whole concept. Like I said, this whole book, 80% I was already doing. So I don't need the whole book, but I'll just pick up one concept, core happiness versus junk happiness. And if I got that, I got my value. So start to look at life like that also. Also try to enroll into courses that have some sort of system of completion. So I feel like these general courses on Coursera and Udemy and all of that, and while they are beautiful courses, they don't have inbuilt a journey where you'll make sure that the course gets completed. One of the things we have done, at least in my tribe, is we make sure that every single person that joins any of my courses, they get what we call the big sister. And the job of the big sister is to support someone, handhold them till the end of the course, which is why we are sitting on, while Coursera, Udemy and all are sitting on 5% of completion rate, which is also a gift. We are sitting on 90% completion rate. How are we getting 90%? Because I actually put a person on your head to complete every course in my when you join my tribe. So look for teachers who have a system of completion. Find out what is their completion rate before you are joining, or know that you know what, you're joining for a very specific one video that you'll watch and you'll consider the course complete. So see how you can, as far as shiny object syndrome or distractions, I don't like to call any course a distraction. I don't like to call any course a shiny object syndrome, because you know what, when you are studying outside of the system, so when you are educating yourself outside of the system, you're going to land up buying more than what you will consume. It's like even when you went through school, did the teacher cover every single topic in your textbook? No, there were chapters that she just said, cut it, cut it. It used to be so much fun actually when she said, these 3 pages are not coming, ta-dang, 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 you remember? The same way, I want you to understand that not every course you will take 100% off, but what you take will change your life forever. So see if you can create a new personality as far as consuming unstructured material is concerned. Okay, now if it starts to accumulate more than what is acceptable, then you know you need to take a pause. So just take a 3 months detox, just for 3 months. Like for me, like when my books become too many, then I ban myself from buying any books for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever I feel like, okay, let me finish at least a few before I buy a fresh set. Neha, I don't know if this was helpful, but I want you to start to not hammer yourself, rather start to praise and appreciate yourself for whatever you are studying. See, the fact that you are here, that you are coming here, tells me that there is a constant seeker in you. And if the seeker in you is going out and spending a little money and some of it is not getting fully used, it's like the dishes we order on the table, darling. We may not land up eating all, but that variety of that one bite also makes the meal complete. Okay? Dr. Raman, ma'am, please bless me tomorrow. I have a session on the power of decision making. Oh, fabulous. Sending you lots and lots of blessings, my sweetheart. Malika, very good morning to you. Looking vibrant today. Thank you. Yes. Have woken up with a really happy mood. There is some new things in my tribe that I'm working on, and whenever I'm working on something new, it is just so exciting. Happy Gudi Padwa New Year from Maharashtra. I'm sorry, I don't even know how to pronounce it, Vijaya, but a very, very happy Gudi Padwa to you too, my darling. It is crazy how auspicious today is and the number of festivals that are happening today. So God bless all of us on this special day. Shraddha, hi ma'am, I'm not wanting to have a second child, but my mom and others are forcing me, and so I'm getting confused how to get an answer for it. Please help. Shraddha, this is a conversation you need to have with your husband more than anyone else. I feel like if the couple decides to not have, no one else should interfere. And if the couple decides to have, also no one should interfere. So it's the journey of the couple, not so much of your mother. So you need to start to make up your mind. You need to know why you are thinking the way you're thinking. Because you know what? The world we live in, what I feel is like when we don't have any further conversation to do, we just go by the majority standard. What is the majority standard? That every time a girl hits 20, 21, 22, 23, she should get married. And so the minute a girl is 23, 24, 25, the pressure of marriage starts. Whether she wants to or doesn't want to is besides the point. Then as soon as she gets married, the first baby conversation starts. Then the minute she has her first baby, the second baby conversation starts. So we are conditioned to have these conversations thinking that the ideal family scenario is the 2 baby setup. Now, I don't know if it is true for everyone. If you are feeling whatever your reasons are, first examine them, reflect on them and see, are my reasons the right reasons? Some people just want to have one baby and give them that 100%. Some people believe like, oh, my son or my daughter won't have a sibling. So for me, that's very important. For my child, I will have a child. For some people, I remember when I got married, I wanted to have 5 children. So you can imagine where I come from. And my husband was like, after 2, he was like, I don't want any more. Better you open a preschool. Why don't you be a mother to 100 children? Why only 2? So it was a totally different conversation for me. So I want you to start to look at what are your reasons. And I think getting your reasons right build clarity and determination. Once you have clarity and determination, handling your mom will become much, much easier. Otherwise, she will start to prevail or create confusion because you don't have clarity. In life, whenever we don't have clarity, someone else's clarity will be accepted by us. So if you have clarity, great. Otherwise, make sure you take someone else's clarity and then just know that because you didn't have clarity, if I had clarity about not getting married and really wanting to study, nobody could have got me married. The truth is I did not have clarity, so I got influenced. You get influenced when you don't have clarity. So one of the things I want you to work with, Shraddha, is your clarity. Okay, darling? All right. Ashu, hi. Dr. Manvi Sharma, hello. Saubana, happy Navratri to you too. Lots of Navratri wishes coming in today. Milan Mehta is asking, hello ma'am, when you approach school, sorry for my voice today, as a life coach and want to conduct a session, they usually ask which institute have you certified or as you an expertise in parenting, what to say. Milan, it's very important that in the beginning as a life coach, you go and do enough one-to-ones so that you have a little, whatever you call it, hamper of testimonials. You are going to need some sort of social proof. So my suggestion, especially if you're going to go and conduct these sessions for free, conduct it in a few schools and then you can speak about I've spoken in this school, this school, this school, or start to collect testimonials around the children that you're going to help. So if you can help 3 individual children, then that's what you show. More than certifications, I feel like it is what your social proof says, that these are the people I've helped. If you already have some sort of a certification, use that this is the certification I've done under this person, as well as these are the testimonials I have. The more in the beginning, all of our confidence comes from our education and from our social proof of who all have we been able to impact. Over time, you'll start to see that as you build your brand, a time will come, nobody will question such things. Like if I go into a school to talk today, nobody's asking me from where do you get your certificate. But in the beginning, it was very important. Yeah? Thank you. Thank you for your wishes. I'm going to go right to the bottom so that I can take some new questions. What topics can we choose for sessions in school? The best way to choose topics is to make a list of your audience and see what are their pain points and what are their aspirations. So let's say in a school, what are children's pain points? Normally, what is it? It is not being able to cope with the curriculum, not being able to prepare for the examination, maybe some friendship issues, maybe being bullied. So if you make a list of all the pain points that a child can have, and then what are their aspirations? Would they like to be popular amongst their classmates? Absolutely. Would they like to be better in their studies? Absolutely. Would they like to manage their time better? Absolutely. So then you make a list of those, and the combination of their pain points and their aspirations becomes your session. Please have some water. I like it. The one who's suggesting to have water is Hari Kesri Vocals. Green tea. Cheers. Rishma Latawa. Ma'am, my sister is already a goddess because she always helps me and her friends as well. She's a very positive person. So I tell her to start helping more people and more people. So please help and suggest what she should do. I'd love to have her in my tribe. see if you can send her for my awakening program, from where she can take on and come in and help women and be a part of my village. That will be so lovely. Otherwise, tell her to go looking for a coaching certification. Anyone who has a helpful heart and the desire to make a difference should start to monetize if you want, or help for free, so that the world is a better place. The world needs better people, and such people should go out and do things. So if you are already suggesting it to her, ask her what is her resistance, and trust me, I would love to have her in my tribe. I'm always looking for goddesses. Shipra Singh, tomorrow is my big day. I participate in Mrs. India 2023. Woohoo, Shipra, all the very best, my sweetheart. Karishma Kadam, what is your experience of women being financially independent? Don't you think ego and attitude comes with it? Honestly speaking, I feel like to every situation there is a good part and there is a shadow part. So when you are dependent on a man, do you become more beggar-like, and do you become more needy, and do you tend to be a lot more nagging because someone else has control over your life? Yes. When you become financially independent, is it possible that you will get a little more egoistic? You will have attitude? Yes. The truth is, how do you manage it? I would rather you have a great life and you learn to manage your ego and attitude than have a bad life because you don't know how to manage your ego and attitude. So over the years, it's very important that you learn. You know, when I started to earn in the beginning, I had no idea what two-income houses look like, because my mother was not a working woman, my mother-in-law was not a working woman. So we are all from those business families where the man works and the woman looks after the house. So I really had to call up a few of my friends who were equal participants of finance in their houses to find out, like, you know, okay, now how does this operate? Is it my money? Is it his money? Is it our money? Is it, you know, we together? Is it a joint account? Is it a separate account? How does it work? And I can tell you that on this journey has been such a learning journey, because in the beginning it was different. I at some point did start to feel like, you know what, I'm equal because we are in the same situation. I'm also funding the house 50% now. I'm also looking after the salaries. I'm also, and it changes your equation, and sometimes it may take a little time to get into the balance of the flow of what the couple would like their financial thing to look like. Having said that way too, then we should say that every man has ego and attitude, because almost every man is financially independent. So if men are allowed to be financially independent with ego and attitude, why not women? And ego and attitude also depends on, is it dignity and self-respect? A lot of times what I've seen is, even when a woman moves into her dignity and self-respect, the world views it as ego and attitude, because most women are not earning. So when this woman starts to earn and starts to hold her ground and starts to have an opinion, we start to feel like the money is going to her head. While the real truth is she's just being herself. That's her truth now. She is a capable woman. So I think understanding that acknowledgement of power has no ego or attitude. Ego and attitude is when you need to praise yourself and put someone else down. Self-praise doesn't have any problem, but self-praise which also includes putting someone else down. Today I am better than you. For me, that's ego and attitude. But I am also good is not ego and attitude. It's standing in your power. And I think understanding those differences and understanding those nuances of what a woman looks like when she is in her power versus what does a woman look like when she's in her ego. And for me, anybody who needs to put other people down to feel better about themselves, ego. If you are in your power, that will just be you recognizing that today you are a capable person of looking after being a protector, provider for yourself. And that's a good thing according to me. So I would rather every woman become financially independent and learn to manage her ego than to not have an identity because of the fear of how will I manage my success. Yeah. A lot of us have fear of success for the same reasons. I remember for me, the big question was, what if I don't remain humble? I remember running up to my teacher, Jack Canfield, and saying, you know, what if I become successful and I don't remain humble and it all goes to my head? What will I do then? He was like, Puja, first become successful, then we'll deal with it. The fact that you're asking me this question tells me nothing will happen to you because you're so hyper aware of not wanting that to happen. So I was like, oh, okay, that's a great answer. He gave me that comfort, and ever since I never worried. Khushi too. There are so many talks and cases of young people dying, illnesses, cheating in relationships. How do you keep your mindset from this and work on being positive? Khushi, till the time we are alive, we are going to be faced with problems and challenges. Life as a concept is about overcoming problems and challenges so that we can grow in our soul system. Our soul took birth to handle these problems and challenges and grow from there. The minute you start to look at your problems and challenges as lessons of life that are there for learning, they are meant to be in your life. If the only thing we had in our life was good, then we would be in heaven, not on earth. Correct? What is the difference between heaven and earth? Heaven is all good. Earth is a plane of duality. It's got good and bad. So we have a choice. We can choose to be good, we can choose to be bad, and the more good choices we make, the more our soul grows. The more bad choices we make, the more we deteriorate, and we need to come back again and again and again in every life to keep fixing that, right? So once you understand that, then your relationship with death, your relationship with illness, your relationship with cheating changes. For me, each of these is just an experience to evolve and grow from. So some people will get there in everybody's cards that are dealt to them. They will have different cards. Somebody will get the ace of spades, somebody will get the king of spades, somebody will get a 2 or 3, somebody will get the joker. The same way, we have people who have to learn to deal with death of a loved one. We'll have lessons where we have to learn with illnesses. We'll have lessons where we'll have to learn with cheating. We'll have lessons where we will have to learn with dearth of money or scarcity of money. We'll have lessons. There are lessons every day. We will have lessons on handicapped. We'll have lessons on... So everything is a lesson. And once you start to treat everything as a lesson, this whole negativity around problems and challenges goes away. So whenever a client comes and sits in front of me, I am just going, okay, what is going to be their growth journey and which is the path God has chosen for them for their soul to grow. God knows who needs which path for their growth. And so once you understand that, that becomes your lesson. So for me, every time something goes wrong in my life, I'm just looking at saying, oh, so this is the path I have to walk to grow. And what the beauty of life is, when you walk the path and you actually outgrow that problem or that lesson or that challenge, who you become becomes a role model in the world for all of those people who are going through the same problem. So now, at least in my life, every time I am challenged, I'm more looking at it like that I'm creating a survival guide for someone else in this world, that if I am able to overcome this, then I'll be an inspiration and a role model to someone else. And you start to operate from that energy, the problem, instead of remaining a problem, becomes a game for you. And you bring in what I say, sometimes we're taking life and problems way too seriously. All of us have problems, and yet we feel so alone with our problem, as if no one else has ever had it. Like you speak to a person who's being cheated, they feel so lonely on their path. True or not? And so I think one of the things we have to do as a society, start to come together with common problems and start to create a group of support system. This is something that I'm starting to advocate in a big way in 2023. We don't have to go through life alone. Too many of us are suffering because we've decided that there is so much shame attached to domestic abuse, to cheating, that we just go into our silence and we start to want to solve a huge problem by ourselves. Where's the community? Where's the village that's going to support you? And so I believe that, I'm going a little off track, but I just want you to know that if you want to keep your mindset right towards any negativity, first accept that negativity is not separate from life, it's a part of life. Secondly, that's the journey God has chosen for you to outgrow. And the minute you will outgrow, you know how proud you will be and how the world will look at you. You go from ordinary to extraordinary when you overcome your challenge. So see any of this, how it can help you to change your mindset towards how you look at your problem. Okay? God bless you. Vibrant Life 5. Should we worry about not having money? I have two places when it comes to money. I want you to understand two concepts. One, from 0 to a certain number, you need to worry. After a certain number, you don't need to worry. So I think what has happened in this world is we don't have that number called enough. Because we don't have enough number, we keep on worrying and we build what I call greed instead of satisfaction or contentment. So you should know what is your contentment number. Because if you don't worry about till your contentment number, then I feel, and you know what the beauty of life is, we don't need too much to be content. We are thinking we need crores and crores, not true. I feel like if a woman is anything between 50,000 to 1 lakh, she can actually live a pretty decent life in this world right now. And so have that contentment number. If you don't even have that much, I would love for you to start to work towards it. Whatever it takes to build yourself to become a person who is capable of earning 50,000 to 1 lakh a month. Once you have that 50,000 to 1 lakh, I want you to look at what are your expenses, what are all your, what is your life look like, and see if you can upgrade it to a level where you should be able to cover all your expenses and be able to save and do charity. Once you know that number, you work towards it. Spend 2, 3, 4, 5 years of obsessive work getting to that number. Once that becomes your new normal, now I want you to know you have entered from the red zone into the green zone. Once you are in the green zone, I don't want anyone to worry about money. If extra comes, brilliant. At any point you want something and you're aspiring for something big, work a little hard, get it, and then relax. Divide your life into, relationships and travel and rest and productivity and courses and studying, and you can have so many different dimensions once your basic money is looked after. Now, is this money something you're manifesting through your spouse or through your parents or through, that's also okay for me. Is this money that you are creating through your competency? I'm okay with that also. Either which ways, the most important thing is, do you have that security blanket which we all need till a certain amount. Now that amount can vary for different people, but after a while all of the money becomes the same. My first 2 lakhs of earning every month 2 lakhs made a bigger difference in my life than making 10 lakhs afterwards. So even if I'm making 10 lakhs a month, it doesn't change my life too much. I just have more money in the bank. I just can last much longer without working. That's the security I have. But the truth is, you're not going to take this money up, or you can't eat this money. So, after a while, once you fulfilled all that list of things that you wanted, start to go into what I call the green zone. The green zone is, I work, but I have contentment. Red zone is, I need to work because I don't have basic security. So there's a lot of difference between the two. In one, you have no choice but to worry about money because the car of life won't move without the petrol. In one, it is just about, are we going 5 kilometers away or are we going to be going 50 kilometers away? But we are still on the journey of life, and life is beautiful. So just which one are you in makes you decide whether you need to worry for money or not. Okay? All right, I'm going to go right to the bottom so that I can see the latest questions. Monisha, why can't I make or get good friends in my life? Monisha, that sounds like a very personal question, but I'm going to try to answer it any which ways. My suggestion to you would be, start to treat every friendship like a plant. Okay? Every plant needs nurturing. There are certain things that a friendship needs just the way a plant needs. Let's say a plant needs soil, it needs water, it needs sunlight. Correct? All of that helps the plant grow. The same way, every friendship needs a certain amount of camaraderie. Your ability, you should like the other person, that's a part of friendship. You should be able to nurture. That means you should be able to fulfill the needs of whatever your friends desire. So maybe you have friends for those who love going for movies. Can you show up and go for movies with them? Maybe you have a 3 a.m. friend who needs to call you and speak to you and vent about whatever's happening in their life. Maybe you have friendships that make you travel the world. You want to travel with them. Maybe you have friendships where you are just a part of a kitty or a coffee morning or something like that. Friendships fulfill different needs, and you need to start to understand this friendship is fulfilling which need of mine. Why I keep speaking about village all the time is that all of us women need to not only be dependent on that one man, we need to have groups of friendships that serve different needs. So the most important thing you need to first do is make a list of what are your needs. Like I have a need where at one point I used to love playing cards. So I made a group of women who love playing cards, and every month, maybe on the second Tuesday or something, they used to come over to my house and all of us used to play cards. For that whole year, I had a beautiful gang of girls where we were all playing cards together, and I used to love that as a lovely relief in and around my work. After a while, I didn't feel like doing that, so I shifted to dance classes. A group of us used to go and attend dance sessions, and we used to love dancing because common interest is one of the most beautiful ways to build a friendship. Some friendships are just built because you have a soul connection. So I have a few friends which is just us chatting the whole day. Ye hua, ye nahi hua, ye kiya, wo kiya, a little bit of discussions of what's happening in the world, and they keep me updated about all the scenes of Chennai, what all is happening, because I'm quite lost in my friendships. So can you start to see that once you start to understand the purpose of that particular friendship, what we tend to do is we make one good friend and then we depend on that friend for all our needs. And that's the big mistake we make. You should have your Saturday evening friends and you should have your Monday morning breakfast friends. I have friends where I just learn motherhood from them. Just hanging out with them, they are such fabulous mothers that I just want to know what and how they are raising their children so that I could use the same practice. Especially when my children were growing up, these ladies were very, very important in my life. Can you start to see how you need to look at friendship, and then now find out what are their needs and see if you can show up for them. Okay, don't try to be equal in a friendship. You do what you are good at, let them do what they are good at, and each other's needs will get looked after. Yeah, so see if you can work around this of creating pockets of friendships for different purposes rather than looking for that one friend, because once we have one fight with that one friend, it feels like our whole life has got dissolved. For the longest time, I used to have this one friend who I was very close to, who I used to share everything with, and the day that friendship went away from my life, it took me almost 6 months to get over it because I was so supremely dependent on just that one person for everything. That's the mistake you don't want to make, yeah? Unless, of course, you already have that in your life and it's working out for you beautifully. Then don't worry too much about it. Oh, so sweet. Atmam is saying, an epitome of class and grace, deepest gratitude. Thank you, Atmam. Vibrant life. Wow, this had so much to learn. Thank you, Puja. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Dre Am Life 2023. Ma'am, how to forget an ex? When we involved in physical activity and he's married, but still he stayed with me a couple of days, but I'm not able to forget him. Please help me. I'm not able to get attracted to a new guy. Sweetheart, this is not just your problem, but a lot of problem for a lot of women now, especially because our society has opened up, and because of that, we have all of this in existence. So one of the things I would like you to start to do is to fall in love with yourself a lot more. What do I mean when I say this? While you were with him, I want you to love him completely. But in his life, if you have turned an option, I want him also to then not be a part of your life. If someone treats you like an option, you're not his priority, but you are his option, then know that from being girlfriend or wife or whatever, he's dropped you. Now when he drops you, you have a choice to either still continue that relationship where you will never get what it is you want any longer. You're going to keep on compromising, adjusting, tolerating just to get his attention. And the more needy he sees you as, the more less attractive you have become to him. So he's not coming back to you in any way for anything but maybe physicality. So the only way you can keep him in your life is by being physical. But remember this, every time you're being physical, the feeling you're going to be left with is of feeling used. And so you are allowing yourself to get damaged every time you're with him, because at that moment you will feel all of the love that you wanted to, but the high has a low. It's like a cocaine high or a drug high, because the high will be there, but the minute he goes away or he goes back to his wife, tell me, how do you feel? It's disgusting. You will feel so low, so used, so not Correct. And so your staying with this man is going to continuously keep on damaging you, which is why one of the things I had heard Matthew Hussey say was, when someone decides that you are not their first priority, that becomes the deal breaker of love. So you will love this person is the perfect person, but the person doesn't remain perfect any longer if they are not putting you as first priority. All their qualities being perfect, this is the deal breaker. So I want you to know this man has broken his deal with you. You're not his first priority. And whenever we allow someone to not keep us as their first priority and we still remain in their life, we basically tell them I don't need no self-respect, no self-dignity. And then not only do they lose their not only they lose respect for us, we start to lose respect for ourselves, and we start to think, if I can't get any better, something is better than nothing. While the real truth is, what you really need to experience is a good relationship. You really need to experience a man who will love you so much that you will wonder. There was a scene Oprah once spoke about where her boyfriend was trying to kick her off because he was leaving for another woman, and she's holding his leg and begging him to stay and saying, I don't mind, I will adjust, you be with her also and you be with me also. And she said, that's the moment in my life I hit rock bottom, where I'd gone to that level, where my self-love had gone zero, where my confidence had become so sad that I was agreeing to something as ridiculous as that. So I would love for you to start to, if you're not attracted to someone for some time, get out of this relationship and be with yourself. What happens is that we create vacuum in our life. We are so used to messaging this person, we are so used to thinking about this person that we don't have the alternate. So when we don't have the alternate, we keep going back to thinking and imagining and messaging, and because we haven't filled it with anything else. You need to come up with an activity that will excite and interest you. You need to make yourself busy with something else for some time, whether it is going to be another man or it's going to be some mission or purpose in life. When we don't have any mission or purpose in life, we get distracted with all of this. So I think you have to go on what I call the self-love journey for about 3 months of 90 days of detoxing yourself from the addiction of this man. I really hope I can help. I'm just literally speaking to you like I would to my own daughter. So, wherever you are in your life, you deserve so much more. At one point in between my children, one of my boys was dating a girl that I knew was not so great for him. And I said, really, I just have one prayer for you, that, you experience love of the kind where you understand that love without respect is not love at all. And the day you have that, that's the day I will know that you're in a real relationship. Otherwise, you're going to think this is love. This is not love at all. So, like my daughter, I'm just going to say this to you. See if you can go find a man who truly knows how to love you, so that all of the damage that this ex has done, that man will come in and heal. Because recently I read this beautiful, I think it was a Jay Shetty quote, which said, when you are in peace, a man can come and put you into pieces. And when you are in pieces, a good man can come in and bring back your peace. And I need that for you to happen. I need a good man to come in and put all of your pieces together to give you that peace that you deserve. Yeah? 1,000 kisses. Hi Puja, I want to hear your Tamil. Oh, you so don't want to hear my Tamil, my sweetheart. What do I say? I normally will tell the driver, Vidukku ponga. Otherwise, I'll be saying Tanni kud or Inge va or Kuncham. That's all. That's my full Tamil. I'm not really good at the language, unfortunately. I have all Hindi speaking staff around me, and in my family no one speaks to me in Tamil, so never landed up learning Tamil. Embarrassing but true. All right, let's go right to the bottom so that we can take some new questions. Where are the questions? Yeah. Elevate life with Shalini. Why is it that when you start working, some near and dear ones start moving out? Are they jealous or feel insecure? Shalini, any kind of change starts to change relationships. So So when you start to prioritize, let's say, your work, then the people who were enjoying your time stop getting the time, and if they don't get the time, then maybe they no longer need you for the new version of you. It's not necessary that they are jealous or insecure. They could just be, someone who enjoyed your time, and you no longer fit into the picture of how they want to receive you. It could just be that. Of course, some people will feel jealous, and that's why they'll start to. So there's a whole vibration relationship has, okay? Now, when we are vibrating at 5, we can maximum hang out with people who are 3 or 7. So that's our range. Let's say you start working and you go from a 5 to an 8 in your vibration. And let's say this person was a 4. We can be 2 steps ahead or 2 steps below. These people who are all now, because you've gone to 8, anybody under a 5 will not be able to be in your energy even if they want to. They have different goals, they have different picture of life, they have a different perspective, and you are no longer a match. You will start to create your new friendships around people who are 8, and they will stay at 5. A lot of times what happens is these people at 5, because you matter and you are important, will start to improve their own life to become a 6, 7 so that they can be in your energy. So you'll see those kind of people also. When you start working, you'll see some of your friendships actually improving. And some people will either leave or become better. So those who leave, that basically means that, you know what, that was your friendships when you were willing to gossip, when you were willing to waste time, when you were willing to discuss other people, when you were willing to waste time, when you were willing to do things which were, a little bit of distractions. Now you are working, you have a purpose, you have a mission, and your conversation, your body language, everything is changed. But this person is still sitting in that energy, and they need friends. They say birds of a feather flock together. So that person needs that kind of energy. They will find their own set. Now you need a new set of energy. There's a lovely video by Mahatria called The Story of the Dragonfly. I'd love for you to Google it and watch this. A 12 minutes video for you to really understand the essence of what I'm saying. It is beautiful. I mean, nobody can say it the way he says it. So I'm going to let you go and watch the video. It's called The Story of the Dragonfly by Mahatria. Shreya, how to get clarity in career? I'm an engineer and not worked so far. I want to be financially independent. How to get clarity in your career? I would love for you to sit down and reflect on what are you good at? What are the things that you get compliments on? Who are the people you admire? What does the world need from you? How can you make money? What are those different professions? If you are a part of my tribe, I'd love for you to do the passion test with me. If you are looking for a career coach, there's a lovely man called Savan Kapoor, my brother, who can actually help you, especially if you're looking for jobs or employment. He's just simply brilliant, okay? So I'd love for you to work with all of this so that you can get clarity. Sometimes what we want is complete clarity to go forward. I always say this, I don't say it actually, Marie Forleo's quotation, so I'll just quote it. I always quote it. Clarity does not come from thought, it comes from engagement. You cannot sit on your sofa and think, okay, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Every week you'll have a different what should I do. When you decide what is it you need to do, you need to start to engage and execute that. As you execute that, life is like an onion. One layer you will peel, another layer you will be able to see. That layer you will peel, another layer you will be able to see. And it's through the peeling of these layers will you arrive at your highest purpose or highest mission. Okay, makes sense? Yes? Fabulous. How to deal with manipulative people? Savita Agarwal is asking. I think the most important thing to understand is what is manipulation. Manipulation is a guilt that you carry that somebody is now using against you. So the first thing you have to do is get over the guilt and shame of whatever it is that they are using to be able to manipulate you. We can't manipulate everybody. Influence is when there is a win for the person and win for the other person. Manipulation is when the person is winning but the other person is losing. Why are you allowing that? So let's say somebody has decided to manipulate you to get you to cook all of the dinner every evening. I'm just taking a random example. So what is it inside of you that is not allowing you to set boundaries or say no? Maybe you are a people pleaser. Maybe you are someone who feels guilty about something. Maybe you are feeling ashamed about something. Maybe there's a belief system that is giving the other person the permission to take you for granted. So anytime someone else is manipulating you, remember the root cause is your inability to set boundaries, not them. Anybody who gets a chance to manipulate will manipulate, because guess what? They get something for so easily. True or not? So it's not the manipulator's fault, but the victim's fault for allowing it. So I'd love for you to ask yourself, how are you allowing this manipulation to happen? And what do you need to do to become more goddess-like, more stronger in your personality, more warrior princess, as I like to call it in my avatars? You need to take out that sword and cut some of the cords. Sometimes the reason someone can manipulate us is just because we are so scared to disappoint them. You know what? Toxic people will continue their behavior till we don't stand up for ourselves. So I think the only answer I can give you is, how are you going to become strong enough, smart enough to be able to handle manipulation when you see it? If you're able to see a manipulator and you're not able to do anything about it, then the work needs to be done on you, not so much on them. True or no? Okay, so see how you're going to deal with this manipulator by becoming stronger and smarter. Yeah? Alright, on that note, let's quickly move into who are the winners of this week's challenge. Alright, we have about 40 of you who participated in last week's challenge. For those of you who don't know about the challenge is basically you have to take a picture, which I'm going to allow you to take in a moment, and then you have to just put your biggest takeaway as well as share it in your story and tag me Puja_Puneet. You do that, you get to come for a special Zoom session with me called Date with Puja, where we will choose the top 40-50 people who've been consistently putting up this challenge. We want at least a minimum of 6 times of you sharing this in your story for you to become eligible with Date with Puja. Okay, so if you're interested in having a date with me sometime in April, what I would suggest today is take a picture. Everyone take. Do I need to fix my hair? Anything? I'm giving you all my angles. Okay, got it? Now all you need to do is put your biggest takeaway, put it in your story and share it with putting Puja_Puneet. Yeah? Tag me. Don't forget to tag me so that I can share it in my stories so that we can make this happen for you. The winners for this week who get my book, Unlocking the Golden Cage, is Grow_Victorious, the _chirpy listener, and I am Rakshita CV. Okay, so all 3 of you, massive congratulations. We will be asking you for your address, and each one of you will receive a copy of my book called Unlocking the Golden Cage. Yeah? Alright, on that note, we are almost come to an end. Thank you so much for coming. Make sure you share it in your stories. I will make sure that I share today's card. A woman with a voice is by definition a strong woman. So this week, see if this is the message of the week, how you can use your voice. If there's any place where you are being silenced or purposely you are keeping quiet to keep peace, see if you can start to show up with knowing that you can tell your opinion and yet not have to get into a fight because of that. The book of the week, of course, is The Happy Mind, Happy Life by Dr. Rangan Chatterjee. On that note, I am going to run. Cheers to everybody who came. Thank you so much. For those of you who are interested in coming for Awakening program, a program of mine where I help you become goddess-like, or rather I awaken the goddess within you, then I would love for you to just write to us. You can send a message on this phone number under this video, Gunjan the Dreamer. You can just send her a message saying, I'm interested in joining Awakening. We would love to have you. If you're interested in becoming a coach, that's another thing that we do. So you can just send us a message saying, I would love to be a coach under you, Puja, or get certified by you. So both of these courses we run parallelly, and I would love to have anyone who's interested. Okay. Thank you for coming. Loads of love. I will see you next Wednesday. Bye. Ciao. Loads of love. Bye.